Alright, so hey guys, a very warm welcome everyone joining us here at BYJU'S Exam Prep. बहुत बहुत स्वागत, welcome. Hi, Arpita is here. Welcome Arpita, बहुत बहुत स्वागत आपका. Welcome buddy, welcome. Divya Patel is here as well. Good evening guys, good evening everyone. बहुत बहुत स्वागत आप सभी का. So guys, today's session basically we'll be talking about one of the most important, burning current affair that is almost surely coming in your exam. Why do I say this? Is because if you look at the past trends, India, definitely. इंडिया के साथ कोई भी नेबरिंग कंट्री का कोई भी इश्यू चल रहा है या फिर सम मेजर डेवलपमेंट विद रिगार्ड्स टू neighboring countries, that will definitely be asked in the exam. And this time round, the Myanmar issue, right, the military coup in Myanmar, the food emergency declared in Sri Lanka, and Pakistan and China just being there, and the development in Afghanistan, right, the Taliban takeover. So many reasons for the examiner to ask you questions with regarding all of these, right? So very important this session is, guys. I can definitely say one of the most important sessions that we have conducted till date, guys. Here in this session, obviously we'll be talking about India as well as its neighbors. As you know, India's neighbor, the list is a long list, right? 9 countries basically share the neighborhood with India, and we will talk one by one about each neighbor. How is India's relations right now with them, ये भी हम बताएंगे, and what is the reason, if at all, our relationship has gone sour, right? तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं. Hi Anirja, good evening buddy. Hi Chinmay, welcome buddy, welcome. Archita is here. Nisha, good evening buddy, good evening. Manas, बहुत बहुत स्वागत है आपका. देवांशु, वेलकम बड़ी, वेलकम. गुड इवनिंग एवरीवन. तो गाइस फटाफट से लाइक जरूर करना है आपको और शेयर भी करना है दोस्तों के साथ. सभी के साथ शेयर कर दीजिए फटाफट से, so that everyone can basically attend this session. This session is for everyone, even though you're preparing for CLAT 2022 or 2023, does not matter. This session is definitely for you, right? आप कोई भी एग्जाम की तैयारी कर रहे हैं, लॉ एंट्रेंस एग्जाम की, this session is definitely meant for you. Alright guys, so here in this before moving here in this topic for the day, I have a quick announcement to make, guys. Here at BYJU'S Exam Prep, we are giving you an opportunity to learn from our expert mentors here at BYJU'S Exam Prep. Guys, CLAT 2023 की अगर आप तैयारी कर रहे हैं, we have a comprehensive preparation course batch 6 for all of you. The free trial is going on as we speak, guys. Here in this batch you will get conceptual clarity from scratch, hundreds of hours of classes, study material that is required to ace this exam, and obviously day-wise study plans, and National University alumni will be there to guide you till the date of your exam, right? If you're preparing for MHCET, SLAT, BLAT or JAMIA, guys, we have a dedicated course for the same as well. Here ACE mentors at BYJU'S Exam Prep will be providing you expert guidance, monthly magazines will be provided, one-on-one mentorship sessions will be there, and again guys, whatever needs to make sure that you reach your dream college will be provided, right? तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं. इंडिया एंड इट्स neighbors, right? The topic for the day. Let's go. All right. Hi Yashasvi, good evening. Hi Belinda, welcome buddy. Good evening Aditi, welcome buddy, welcome. All right. So guys, when we're talking about India and its neighbors, right, this is the map of the subcontinent, as India, right? India basically is surrounded with so many countries, especially if we talk about the eastern part of India, right? Majorly all the neighbors are there. You can see Pakistan here, China here, Nepal, in the north, आप देख सकते हो. उसके साथ ही श्रीलंका and other countries like Bhutan, Bangladesh, etc. All these countries are there, who are which are basically neighbors of India. So a question can definitely be asked on these lines: how many countries India shares its border with, right? तो इसका आंसर मैं आपको दे देता हूँ यहाँ पे. आप देखिए, ये रहा जी टोटल नेबरिंग कंट्रीज ऑफ इंडिया, बट लैंड बाउंड्री किनके साथ शेयर करिए और किनके साथ सिर्फ पानी के साथ जरिए शेयर करें, जैसे श्रीलंका के साथ लैंड बाउंड्री नहीं है हमारी, बट स्टिल इट इज आवर नेबर, राइट। तो आप देख सकते हैं अफगानिस्तान, पाकिस्तान, चाइना, नेपाल, भूटान, बांग्लादेश, श्रीलंका, मालदीव्स एंड म्यांमार आर आवर नेबर्स, राइट। इनमें से आप कह सकते हो मालदीव्स एंड श्रीलंका जो है वो वाटर बॉडी से सेपरेट करते हैं, दे डू नॉट शेयर लैंड विद इंडिया, राइट। चलिए जी, हाय ओशिन, हाय एवरीवन, हाय, वेलकम वेलकम गाइस, बहुत बहुत स्वागत है, दिव्या वेलकम। तो इधर ध्यान दीजिए दोस्तों, यहाँ पे these are our neighboring countries, total land border that we share, काफी ज्यादा है, बट टोटल लैंड बॉर्डर ऑफ इंडिया 15,106 किलोमीटर अप्रॉक्स, राइट। टोटल लेंथ ऑफ इंडियन कोस्ट लाइन 7,516 किलोमीटर्स, राइट। सो बहुत जबरदस्त आप देख सकते हो। अगर हम देखें कंट्री वाइज कितनी हमारी बॉर्डर हम शेयर कर रहे हैं, तो आप देखिए दिस इज द एंटायर लिस्ट फॉर यू गाइस, राइट। शुरू करते हैं हम अफगानिस्तान से। देखिए अफगानिस्तान से लेकर मालदीव्स तक, यू कैन सी अफगानिस्तान 106 किलोमीटर्स, बांग्लादेश 4,096 किलोमीटर्स, भूटान 699 किलोमीटर्स, चाइना के साथ वी शेयर 3,488 किलोमीटर्स, म्यांमार 1643 किलोमीटर्स, नेपाल 1751, पाकिस्तान 3,323, and with Sri Lanka and Maldives we share sea border. So if a question comes in the exam, with how many countries do India share its border with, right? So what will be your answer? अब अगर वहां पे सिर्फ बॉर्डर आया है ना, सी बॉर्डर और लैंड बॉर्डर में कुछ डिफरेंशिएशन नहीं आया, तब तो आप मार्क कर दोगे जी 9 है ना, अदरवाइज 7, राइट। लैंड बॉर्डर 7, अदरवाइज आप देख सकते हैं 9, राइट। अब श्रीलंका में हम देख सकते हैं इट इज सेपरेटेड बाय the Gulf of Mannar, and Maldives it lies the southwest part of Indian Ocean below the Lakshadweep Island, right। अब ये देख सकते हो आप पूरी की पूरी सब कहां कौन कौन सा स्टेट है। सबसे बड़ी बात क्या है दोस्तों, जो क्वेश्चन अक्सर लोग गलत करते हैं, द क्वेश्चन दैट मोस्ट ऑफ अस आर गिल्टी ऑफ मार्किंग इनकरेक्टली, इट इज बांग्लादेश, राइट। विद रिस्पेक्ट टू बांग्लादेश, व्हेन द क्वेश्चन इज आस्क्ड दैट विद व्हिच कंट्री इंडिया शेयर्स इट्स मैक्सिमम बॉर्डर विद, राइट, द आंसर टू दैट इज Bangladesh, right? Bangladesh is the correct answer. Basically the states who share their border with Bangladesh, this question can also be asked in the exam. So the answer is, you can see, West Bengal, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Tripura and Assam, right? Chaliye. So is there any requirement to learn their length? Length is not that important, just this fact that the maximum boundary that we share is with Bangladesh, the minimum that we share is with Afghanistan. These 2 pointers you can remember, right? And what are the states who are bordering that particular country is very important. We know Myanmar was in news as well. So states which share basically territory with Myanmar, states which share territory with China, states which share territory with Bhutan and Bangladesh and Pakistan, all these are definitely worth noting, right? India has developed its first आपको पता है सभी को, emergency landing facility in बाड़मेर, राजस्थान. So why? Because we have Pakistan over there, right? तो वहां पे वही काउंटर करने के लिए in future if a need arises, we should have an emergency landing facility ready for our Indian Air Force, right? So this is something which I want you all to definitely take a note of, right? Now what we'll do is we'll basically talk about each country one by one, right? India's relationship with all the major countries that are in news. All right. सबसे पहले let's start off with the burning news, that is India with Sri Lanka. Guys, you all know India's policy is neighborhood first policy. Some of you might definitely argue that this has definitely changed, and I definitely agree with all of you as well, right? We have seen a shift in India's neighborhood first policy, because when we saw what happened in Iran as well was a prime example, right? United States of America, their president Donald Trump basically had warned us that do not do any trade, right? Sanctions लगा दिए, trade sanctions लगा दिए ईरान के ऊपर. इंडिया ने भी अपने हाथ पीछे खींच लिए. It costed us billions of dollars, but then also we basically agreed with US, and we basically violated our neighborhood first policy. Plus recently when it comes to pleasing the neighborhood, usually before, you can say a decade or so ago, we were focusing a lot on our neighborhood, you can say. But recently we've seen there's a shift, right? There's a conscious shift, and we're more turning towards the western side of things, western scheme of things. That is what our neighbors are alleging, right? This is what our neighbors are alleging consistently, and so has Sri Lanka, right? Sri Lanka has time and again asked India for some sort of help. They've recently asked us for, you can see here, financial help to the tune of $500 million. Just imagine, guys. Obviously, India was the #1 trading partner with Sri Lanka before 2020. Once the pandemic, hit Sri Lanka and India and the entire world, this changed drastically, and now China is the #1 trading partner with Sri Lanka, and India is the second number now, right? So India basically wants to regain their top spot, and they do not want any sort of Chinese intervention there in the southern part of India, right, where Sri Lanka lies basically. So Sri Lanka's policy is India first. Sri Lanka right now is facing food emergency, severe financial emergency. Sri Lanka is facing, they are using all their reserve funds, and hence they are at the mercy of their neighbors right now, right, their allies right now. So China, basically, if India does not help them, definitely China, you all know, right, it's famous for its debt traps. They can definitely come and help Sri Lanka out, bail them out, and in return, like they got a port earlier, they can also gain more land mass there in the in the Sri Lankan territory, right, which obviously India would not like, right? So this is what the situation is right now. Sri Lanka is facing a severe food shortage because the tourism has affected because of the pandemic, and hence the income, the overall economy has also deteriorated. Right now 7.5% is the the currency has declined. The Sri Lankan rupee is the currency, has declined right now against dollar, right? So it is actually increasing now, it's above 8. तो बहुत ज़्यादा currency जो है उनकी टूट रही है, which is definitely a matter of concern. All right. They want to trade or finance, but right now they want finance, emergency है, right? Trade आपने शुरू कर दिया, you will start at minuscule level, right? First round of talks will be there. In a few months, trade will resume. So trade we are already doing, right? Trade we are already doing. जितना हम कर सकते हैं उतना कर ही रहे हैं. ट्रेड तो चल ही रहा है. एक emergency financial help चाहिए उनको right now from us. All right. Yes, they want right now, what they want is finance, right? They want financial help, financial aid from India, right? So this is how India and Sri Lanka's relation stands. We have been the best of friends for for time immemorial, right? Before, you can say, even before this food crisis, India was always the first partner in terms of any trade agreement or anything that Sri Lanka had. That is why Sri Lanka had this policy: India first. India had neighborhood first, right? So both of them were real close friends for a long period of time. They're still close friends, but China जो है बीच में एक third wheel की तरह आ रहा है. ठीक है, China is acting like a third wheel. All right. Next, guys, is Indo-Bangladesh relationship with India and Bangladesh. By the way, your job is to find out the Prime Minister and President of Sri Lanka, the Prime Minister of Bangladesh, and all the heads of all the nations that we'll discuss today, and you have to answer in the comments. I'll be reading all your answers. देखते हैं कौन सबसे ज़्यादा सही जवाब देता है. Yes, but our line of credit is what Sri Lanka has asked India. Next, guys, is India and Bangladesh. Bangladesh actually is doing really well in terms of growing their GDP. Right now, it is also all set to remove the least developed country tag, and now it's all set to enter the developing country status, right? So it is both pro and con, right? Some benefits which were there with the least developed countries, the trade benefits that it had, वो सब चले जाएंगे. But then again, right, it shows that Bangladesh's economy is doing really good. Bangladesh, as you all know, commemorating 50 years of 1971 Indo-Pakistan war that led to the liberation of Bangladesh. अब ये जब 1971 में war हुई थी, India basically played a huge important role in liberating Bangladesh from Pakistan, right? पहले ये East Pakistan के नाम से जाना जाता था. All of you know this, right? So उसको India ने basically अपनी पूरी जितनी भी ताकत थी लगा दी. India basically every ounce of energy that India had, political, military strength, right, जो भी किया, और पाकिस्तान को वहां से भगा दिया। 16th December को basically we celebrated the victory over Pakistan when you can see 93,000 soldiers, Pakistani soldiers surrendered unconditionally to the allied forces of India, as well as the Mukti Bahini was the chief of Bangladesh back in the time, right? तो ये basically किया। अब for the first time Bangladesh was invited to the Republic Day parade कि आइए be a member of the Republic Day parade. Bangladesh Armed Forces participated here. 122 member contingent was there, right? Apart from Bangladesh, there have been two previous instances in 2016-17 और 15-16, बात चेक कर लीजिएगा। 2 times फ्रांस भी आ चुका है, तो तीसरी बार कोई कंट्री है जो कि रिपब्लिक डे परेड में नॉन इंडियन कंट्री इज पार्टिसिपेटिंग, राइट? तो ये आपको ध्यान रखना है। बांग्लादेश सेलिब्रेट्स देयर इंडिपेंडेंस आल्सो ऑन द 16th of December, right? So India basically historically has great relations with Bangladesh because of their contribution in liberating them, right? Recently we've seen again Bangladesh also falling in the debt trap of चाइना, राइट? उनका जो डेट ट्रैप है उसमें फॉल गिर रहे हैं, बांग्लादेश भी, ये भी हमने देखा है लगातार। अब लेट्स टॉक वन बाय वन, वील अंडरस्टैंड ऑल सॉर्ट्स ऑफ रिलेशन, राइट? सबसे पहले इकोनॉमिक रिलेशन। सो बांग्लादेश इज इंडियाज biggest trade partner in South Asia, right? India exports a lot to Bangladesh. You can see this is a data 3-4 years back, right? जब हमारा 9.21 pre-COVID data, $9.21 billion we were basically exporting, and we were importing roughly around $1.22 billion. That means a trade surplus of roughly around $8 billion, right? तो ये आपको याद रखना है। वेरी गुड महिंद्रा राजपक्षा ब्रदर्स, वेल डन गाइस, वेल डन। चलिए जी, बहुत बढ़िया। सारी कंट्रीज के बताने होगा ना जी। हाय सुहानी, वेलकम बड़ी, वेलकम, बहुत बहुत स्वागत आप सभी का। यस, भुज मूवी याद आ गई, क्या बात है। फिर दोस्तों डिफेंस, राइट? डिफेंस रिलेशंस विद रिस्पेक्ट टू डिफेंस, बॉर्डर मैनेजमेंट। आप देख सकते हो इंडिया एंड बांग्लादेश शेयर द लार्जेस्ट बॉर्डर, राइट? विद this basically now this has both, right? थोड़ा ups and downs दोनों होते रहते हैं यहाँ पे। इंडिया एंड बांग्लादेश की जो बॉर्डर है वहां से कई सारे बांग्लादेशीज एंटर कर जाते हैं इंडिया में इलीगली, विदाउट एनी वीजा, विदाउट परमिशंस फ्रॉम द इंडियन अथॉरिटी। दे हैव बीन इंडियंस have been really on the edge, basically, because they do not want any more population coming from Bangladesh, because we already have population pressure, and with new people coming from Bangladesh will definitely increase that population pressure, especially in the northeastern part of India, where population density is not that much, but people from Bangladesh migrate to these areas, and then they there's a race for resources, right? Which is definitely something to condemn. Now India is being condemning it for a long period of time. Bangladesh is saying that we are doing our best to make sure that does not happen, but still this is a common practice. Power cooperation, obviously Bangladesh is currently importing 1160 megawatts of power from India, so India is earning money through this power initiative as well. So in a nutshell, India basically earns a lot from Bangladesh, right? We are in a trade surplus, and relations with Bangladesh are very good, but the problem is that China is increasingly investing heavily in Bangladesh, and hence because of this, India's relation with Bangladesh is turning a little gray, right? वो जो है थोड़ा सा गड़बड़ होता जा रहा है इंडिया का रिलेशन बांग्लादेश के साथ, क्योंकि बांग्लादेश प्रेफर कर रहा है ट्रेड, जो भी आज हम देख रहे हैं इतना सारा ट्रेड हो रहा है, वो कम होता जा रहा है धीरे धीरे, बिकॉज चाइना जो है उनको बेटर डील्स, बेटर सब चीजें कर रहा है, गिविंग लाइन ऑफ क्रेडिट विच दे डू नॉट इवन रिक्वायर, एक्स्ट्रा पैसा उनको दिया जा रहा है। तो ये आप थोड़ा सा देख लीजिएगा। इसके बाद दोस्तों आता है जी इंडिया एंड अफगानिस्तान, राइट? इंडिया अफगानिस्तान रिलेशंस। तो राइट नाउ जो तालिबान है taken over Afghanistan. Earlier, India had excellent relations with Afghanistan. Afghanistan was, more, you can say, favoring us than any other countries in the region, right? तो अफगानिस्तान बहुत बड़ा हमारा एक अलाय था, बट अब क्या है जी, तालिबान टेक ओवर हो गया है। Now we don't know how will the leaders react, but अभी recently a top leader from Taliban basically said that India is a very important country for the subcontinent. We want to continue our cultural, economic and trade ties with India like in the past. अगर ऐसा होता है तब तो इकोनॉमिक रिलेशंस में कोई खास फर्क पड़ेगा नहीं, बिकॉज इंडिया ने भी क्या किया है जी, देख सकते हो आप, इंडिया अफगानिस्तान, they've established a preferential trade agreement, right? Preferential trade agreement, this can be asked in the exam as well. What is preferential trade agreement? So India and Afghanistan have both joined hands for the purpose of free movement of goods between these countries with reduced tariffs, no taxes at all, almost none on the movement of goods. So anything that you produce there in Afghanistan can come here, and anything that we produce can go in Afghanistan without any trade barriers, without any tax barriers, right? That is what is to be remembered, right? Next, guys, India helped in establishing infrastructure projects, humanitarian assists and whatnot, right? Lots of things we actually did. Billions of dollars India invested in Afghanistan prior to the Taliban takeover. Now India's investment, long-term investments are at stake right now. It all depends on how Afghanistan's newly appointed कह लो या जो भी है regime, how does they tackle the bilateral issue, right? So this has to be remembered, right? So it's very important, Indo-Afghanistan issue. Do keep a tab on this, right? Chaliye. Next, guys, is India and Pakistan, right? Recently, seldomly these two countries play with each other, right? A cricket match was played between these countries where Pakistan came out victorious. And now when this happened, अब स्पोर्ट्स में अब आप देख रहे हो, आप सोच रहे हो कि ये बार बार क्यों नहीं होता? Why don't we get an opportunity to play against Pakistan just like the way we play Australia or South Africa or other countries? The reason is that India does not want to aid Pakistan in any form, right? Even in sports, right? So if India's match, India basically plays a cricket match with any nation, that nation actually benefits a lot, right? उनकी eyeballs ज़्यादा है क्योंकि इंडिया की population बहुत ज़्यादा है, cricket lovers बहुत ज़्यादा है. So India basically watches all those cricket matches और उस वजह से wide viewership मिलती है and lots of money, basically advertisers and sponsors are ready to pay. So India does not want Pakistan Cricket Board to benefit out of it. So India does not basically कोई भी क्रिकेट टूर्नामेंट जो है पाकिस्तान के साथ कोई भी कंडक्ट नहीं करते हैं. इंडियन स्टांस यू कैन सी हियर, इंडिया स्टैंड स्टिल आपके कई बार सुना होगा आपने फॉरेन सेक्रेटरी हमारे या फिर डॉक्टर एस जयशंकर से, यू हर्ड ऑफ दिस बिफोर एज वेल, दैट इंडिया स्टैंड्स बाय इट्स नेबरहुड फर्स्ट पॉलिसी एंड डिजायर्स नॉर्मल रिलेशंस विद पाकिस्तान इन एन एनवायरमेंट व्हिच इज फ्री ऑफ टेरर एंड वायलेंस. इंडिया इज सेइंग दैट वी आर रेडी टू नेगोशिएट विद पाकिस्तान ऑन एनी टर्म, बट first Pakistan has to get rid of terror and violence, right? Now the ball is in the court of Pakistan. This is what Indian stance is right now, right? In 2019, what happened? How did this bilateral relation get extreme low? आप देख सकते हो, in the year 2019, Article 370 of India's constitution was actually scrapped off, which basically gave a special status to Jammu and Kashmir, as you all know. Following this, Pakistan basically expelled the Indian High Commissioner in Islamabad, right? And they suspended all the air travels, all the land travels, all the railway travels, and said that no trade is to be carried between the two nations. India और पाकिस्तान कोई भी trade नहीं करेंगे आपस में, right? So this basically they came up and shared. तो ये सब चीजें हो रही थी दोस्तों. There was no forward movement in bilateral ties even in 2020. उसके बाद तो pandemic आ गया due to the mistrust between the two countries, especially on the Kashmir issue, right? So the relations between the two countries are still at an all-time low, right? आज भी बहुत ही poor हैं दोनों countries के relation. There are no bilateral trade going on, but फिर भी आप देख सकते हो अभी जो है करतारपुर कॉरिडोर को वापस से रीओपन करा दिया गया है, right? Which is a welcome stance, right? तो ये जरूर याद रखिएगा, करतारपुर कॉरिडोर जो बंद करा दिया गया था उसको वापस से खोल दिया गया है. तो that you can definitely remember. All right, guys. Yes, this news is important for both, guys. This is the current stance. So CLAT 2022 or 2023. This is for both, right? This is for both. This is not a year specific thing that we are actually discussing here. All right. Last is obviously China. But before we move to China, one more thing I'd like to add here is Myanmar, right? Myanmar basically faced a military coup right now. India has, time and again basically battled with problems there in Myanmar. Right now also India threatened Myanmar कि हम जो है आपसे कोई रिलेशन नहीं रखना चाहते, कोई भी ट्रेड नहीं करेंगे हम आपके साथ, जो कि म्यांमार अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकता. Hence the leader, the military chief of Myanmar also said that we will definitely conduct elections, just give us a couple of years, right? Just give us a couple of years, we will definitely conduct a fair election, right? So this happened in Myanmar. Okay, so Pakistan sir as a country considering. All right. Okay. अब next डिफेंस फ्रंट पे अगर हम इंडिया चाइना की बात करें तो यू ऑल नो द गलवान वैली क्लैश दैट हैपेंड ऑन June 15, 2020. Now this was asked in the exam as well. Indian Chinese troops basically engaged in a brawl which left 20 Indian soldiers dead and lots of casualties at the Chinese end as well. The clash is a part of a long-standing border standoff between India and China along the line of actual control. LAC जो है the line that divides India and China, उसको लेकर कई सारे इश्यूज होते हैं. इंडिया का क्लेम कुछ और है, चाइना का क्लेम कुछ और है, और उस वजह से अक्सर हम देखते हैं काफी क्लैशेस होते रहते हैं. यूजुअली द क्लैशेस आर नॉट ऑफ सच नेचर. यूजुअली से पत्थर फेंक देते हैं बोल के, है ना, थोड़ा सा ठीक है, वॉर ऑफ वर्ड्स जरूर हो जाता है, बट वॉर ऑफ गन्स एंड एम्यूनिशंस ये नहीं होता है, देखने को मिलता है ज्यादातर, राइट. एक बहुत ही कम इंस्टेंसेस होते हैं अनलाइक पाकिस्तान, राइट. पाकिस्तान के साथ हमारे वायलेंट क्लैशेस ऑलमोस्ट बहुत ही रेगुलर बेसिस पे होते हैं. ऑन द इकोनॉमिक फ्रंट गाइस, व्हाट इज टू बी नोटेड हियर इज दैट इंडिया रिसेंटली, यू नो राइट, लास्ट ईयर 2020 वाज फिल्ड विद द न्यूज ऑफ TikTok being banned, all the Chinese apps being banned, even the most popular game PUBG being banned. All these were being banned because we were saying no to Chinese goods, even the apps, right? We were not trusting them at all. Our relationship with China was again, at you can say at an all-time low, right? But surprisingly, you can see here on the economic front this year, talking about this year itself, so far till the month of October, September end, right, we have actually done more than $90 billion worth of trade with China. $90 billion. We are all set to achieve the $100 billion mark by the end of this year. तो हम जो है ट्रेड हमने बढ़ा दी है. पिछले साल तो IPL भी होस्ट नहीं करने दी हमने. हाँ, Vivo IPL जो थी, स्पॉन्सर जो था, उनको भी होस्ट नहीं करने दिया हमने. भाई ड्रीम 11 इंडियन, राइट, उनको बोला कि आप करिए स्पॉन्सर. इस बार फिर से हम ले आए Vivo. तो आप देख रहे हो $100 billion is what we are projecting, right? Maybe more. China's exports to India went up to $68.4 billion. Definitely you can say it is because of the pandemic. Guys, this is a 51.7% increase from compared to last year, right? क्यों हुआ ये increase? Because obviously of COVID pandemic, right? We basically were facing the second wave of COVID. We needed oxygen concentrators, urgent supplies, urgent medical supplies, whatnot, right? So for all this, we were doing our best. The Indian exports totaled to $21.9 billion, registering a noteworthy increase of 42.5%. If you consider it percent wise, it looks attractive, but you can see here the trade deficit 21 and almost even if you don't consider 190 billion as it was till September, right? So you can see a huge $70 billion approx. There is a trade deficit, which is definitely not the way India wants things to be. All right, so this is how things are with respect to India and China. Sir, could you please suggest me a monthly current affairs magazine? Absolutely, I can. It is, the CLAT Ignite magazine provided by BYJU'S Exam Prep. It is a must for each and every student that is basically watching this class, right? सभी के लिए वो एक must है, सबको ये देखनी चाहिए. It's my advice to everyone. This magazine is a must. Addition to your sources for current affairs, right? Will definitely help you. चलिए, तो गाइज ये था जी आज का संपूर्ण ज्ञान. बहुत सारी चीजें हमने आज डिस्कस करी, तो क्विकली, कंजूसी नहीं करनी है दोस्तों, फटाफट से लाइक का बटन दबा देना है, कमेंट करके बताना है जो भी मैंने क्वेश्चन पूछे आपसे, जितने भी कंट्रीज मैंने, ऑल द नेबर्स, यू आर सपोज टू राइट हु इज द हेड ऑफ द नेशन, राइट? जल्दी से आपको हेड लिखना है, ऑल्सो कैपिटल, राइट? दो चीजें, हेड्स और कैपिटल ऑफ ऑल दीज कंट्रीज, यू आर सपोज टू राइट इन द कमेंट्स. आई विल बी वेटिंग फॉर योर कमेंट्स. देखते सबसे पहले कौन आंसर करता है, राइट? और इसी के साथ दोस्तों शेयर द वीडियो विद ऑल योर फ्रेंड्स. ऑल्सो also subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already. ये must है, ये करना है आपको. Yes बेटा, if you have any questions with regarding how to download the magazine, क्या करना है, कौन सा कोर्स मेरे लिए बेस्ट रहेगा, you feel free to reach out to us on the helpline number that is given on your screen. You can also reach us on the email ID support@byju'sexamprep.com. आप इस पे हमारे पास आप पहुंच सकते हैं अपने सवाल लेकर. We will definitely be more than happy. Our ACE counselors will definitely help you out with each and every query of yours. Guys, if you're preparing for CLAT 2022, we have a bilingual batch for all of you. Bilingual batch 4. This is the free trial for the same is going on. Guys, in this batch, you get conceptual clarity from scratch. You learn in the language of your choice, that is English and Hindi. तो मतलब English में classes होंगी आपकी, तो a great opportunity coming your way to learn in the language of your choice. Guys, weekly performance test, faculty guidance will be there, and obviously, you know, our ACE mentors here at BYJU'S Exam Prep will be providing you all the knowledge that is required. Guys, if you're looking to prepare in the English language only, we have a dedicated course for the same as well. The free trial for the same is going on, guys. So make sure that you enroll to the free classes at least, so that you get an opportunity to learn from the best mentors and aid your preparation, because the exam is just around the corner, guys. Now is the best time to start. You can't wait any longer. All right, chaliye ji. Here you get again in this batch, guys, National University alumni will be helping you till the day of your exam. From scratch, conceptual clarity, hundreds of hours of classes, thousands of practice material, whatever is needed to make sure that you reach your dream college will be provided, guys. With this, we are done for the day, guys. Thank you so much. We will meet again same time tomorrow. Till then, take care. Goodbye. This is all from BYJU'S Exam Prep. Thank you.